Are you struggling to differentiate your agency from the competition? Well, if you are not alone. And over the next 5 minutes, I'm going to walk you through step by step on how to establish a niche so that your ideal target client is queuing up to work with you. My name's Rob DaCosta and I'm an agency owner and coach. Back in the 90s, I started my own full service marketing agency and grew it to 25 staff, turning over about £1.5 million. After 11 years, I sold the agency for 7 figures and then retrained to become a coach. Since then, I've worked with over 300 agency owners just like you to help grow their agency in a profitable, sustainable and enjoyable way. And in this video, I'm going to explain why niching is so important and show you how to start researching your niche so that you can charge higher fees and find clients much more easily. So let's get going. Let me quickly remind you of why it's so important for your agency to have a clear niche. Right now, more than ever, we need to truly serve our audience. Yet if we don't really know them well, how can we? However, when we have a clear niche, we can develop products and services that we know our audience wants, rather than creating things that we think they need, which quite frankly is a fast route to poverty. Now, perhaps the most obvious yet compelling point about being niched is that a niched agency will always be able to charge more than a generalist, and they will really value what you do. After all, if you needed an operation on your knee, you would go to a knee surgeon, not your local doctor. And guess which one of those two is going to charge you more money? And which one of those two do you instantly trust more? When we have a clear niche, we can easily define exactly who our ideal target customer is and understand their specific needs and challenges so that our products and services can solve them. This means that we can create truly differentiating, unique selling points rather than making cliched statements such as we really are trustworthy, we really care, or we go the extra mile. And finally, when you've done all of this work on defining your niche, you can create marketing messages and powerful content that really resonate with your ideal target customer. Now, let me pause here to challenge some of the things that you might be thinking, such as, well, hey Rob, if I niche, I'll lose opportunities. Quite the opposite is true, because when you have a clear niche, it becomes much easier for your ideal target customer to find you and for you to find them. And if you're worried about losing business, then ask yourself, as a generalist, how many of these supposed clients am I currently winning? Okay, so now let's discuss how to go about finding your niche, because I think for some of us it's easy and obvious, like for me, niching into the marketing agency sector because of my background, but for others it's not so obvious. So your niche needs to be the intersection of these 3 areas where money, passion and results overlap. So you want to ask yourself the following questions. Number 1, which part of my business is most profitable? Secondly, what type of customer do we get the best results for? And thirdly, what kind of work do we most enjoy doing? Now, I recommend that you do some analysis of old client work if you have that history to work out the answers to these 3 questions and then identify your sweet spot, which is the overlap of those 3 areas, your target niche. The final piece of advice about finding your niche is that most people think about niching down by sector, for example, finance or tech. But actually you can segment your niche in 4 ways. By geography, so we create great websites for businesses in London. By industry or sector, we create great websites for gaming businesses. By the deliverable, we create great e-commerce WordPress websites. And by the problem that you solve, we generate new business leads by improving your online presence through web development and SEO services. It's very likely that you'll want to have a combination of 1 or 2 of these, but I've tried to be smart ass here and combine all 4 to a very long statement. So we generate new business leads by improving your online presence through developing e-commerce WordPress websites for gaming businesses in London. Now, you need to work out how niche you want to be, because saying you work with SME businesses in the UK to provide SEO services is probably not niched enough. So my advice is always to start as narrow as you dare and can and broaden out over time. E.g., it might be better to start with, we help SME e-commerce businesses generate more leads by building authority through a backlink strategy. Now, I've helped hundreds of agencies go about this niching exercise. So if you go and do your research to find your niche and then you commit to it by making sure that your outbound comms articulate that niche, i.e. on your website, then you'll start winning clients more easily and you'll be able to start charging higher fees.